Hey travelers, welcome back to our Skirk Impact. Today we're doing a full deep dive on Ineffa, the new 5 Electro polearm from version 5.8. You'll get her Ascension and Talent mats, kit breakdown, lore, pull value, best team comps, even F2P. And we'll even preview the new Electro Bow DPS from 6.1 who pairs beautifully with her. Let's get started.
Ineffa hails from Nodcry, near the chaotic region of Mer Javari in Natlan. A disciplined warrior with a robotic drone named Brigitta, she studies elemental interplay and harnesses it in combat. Ineffa's main utility comes in the form of Lunar Charge, an upgraded form of Electro Charge that is capable of dealing crit damage. This appears in the form of a storm cloud above the fighting characters. The damage of Lunar Charge is controlled by the stats of both the Hydro and Electro unit, making it a more powerful variant of Electro Charge, but can only be achieved by having Ineffa on the team. And her Ascension materials and Talent Up materials list are given below. Make sure to start forming if you want to pull for her.
Ineffa introduces a brand new reaction, Lunar Charged. With her in your party, Electro Charged transforms into Lunar Charged. This creates storm clouds that deal AoE Electro damage, and yes, they can crit. It scales with ATK, Elemental Mastery, and crit stats. Elemental Skill, Cleaning Mode, Carrier Frequency. Summons Brigitta, who attacks enemies and applies consistent Electro damage. She also gives you a shield that scales from her ATK. When Lunar Charged enemies are hit, Brigitta triggers an extra AoE Electro hit. This hit scales further with Ineffa's ATK. Elemental Burst, Supreme Instruction, Cyclonic Exterminator. Resummons Brigitta in enhanced mode. Boosts the entire party's elemental mastery by 6% of Ineffa's ATK for 20 seconds. It's an amazing team-wide buff for reaction-heavy teams. Moon Sign Benediction, Assemblage Hub, converts Electro Charged into Lunar Charged, and increases its damage by 0.7% of ATK per 100 ATK, up to 14%. Overclocking Circuit. While storm clouds are on field, Brigitta gains an extra AoE Electro attack, scaling from ATK, Panoramic Permutation Protocol. When you cast her burst, all party members gain Elemental Mastery equal to 6% of Ineffa's ATK for 20 seconds. Perfect synergy for reaction-based comps. Let's now go over some of the best team compositions for Ineffa, from both meta and fun perspectives. Here's a quick breakdown of each team type, their setups, and what makes them powerful. First up, the core Lunar Charge team. This team includes Ineffa, Hydro applicators like Yelan or Kokomi, an off-field Electro unit such as Fiscal or Ororon, and an EM buffer like Sucrose or Kazuha. The synergy is built around constant Hydro application, followed by Ineffa's Electro and Shield, which then triggers powerful Lunar Charged reactions. Sucrose or Kazuha boost Elemental Mastery, allowing chain reactions to deal massive damage. Next, main DPS plus Bow or Charged Shot carries. This team pairs on-field DPS units like Nuvolette or Clarenda, with Hydro support like Farina, Ineffa herself, and a swirl support such as Kazuha. Here, Ineffa fuels the setup with Electro applications and her passive storm clouds, while EM boosts and reactions trigger non-stop. This team is perfect for players who want elegant charged attack plays, with bonus energy generation from Ineffa's passives. Third, the Overload or Overvape hybrid team. This includes a Pyro DPS such as Yuamiya or Arlecchino, Yelan for Hydro support, Bennett for healing and ATK buffs, and Ineffa to apply Electro and Shield, with Hydro, Pyro, and Electro constantly on the field. You'll trigger Overload, Vaporize, and even Lunar Charged reactions. This team is chaotic, flashy, and deals high AoE burst damage. Fourth, the quick Hyper Bloom team. Ineffa joins hands with Nahida, a Hydro applicator like Xingqiu or Yelan, and a Dendro support like Kuki Shinobu or Varisa. This team uses Dendro and Hydro to generate blooms, while Ineffa turns them into Hyper Blooms with her Electro application. You'll also trigger Lunar Charged reactions for double Elemental Mayhem. And finally, the 6.1 Electro Bow Synergy Preview. An upcoming Electro Bow DPS arriving in version 6.1 could pair beautifully with Ineffa. This team includes the new DPS, Hydro like Farina, an EM buffer like Kazuha, and Ineffa to support with Electro and shields. Crit builds become even stronger when boosted by Ineffa's Lunar Charged, making this a team with future meta potential. To sum it up, start with Hydro, Electro, and an EM buffer as your base core. Add either a main DPS, a second reaction unit, or a buffer depending on what you need. And don't forget, Ineffa's shield and storm cloud scale with elemental mastery and crit. So build her with precision. And yes, version 6.1 brings a brand new Electro Bow DPS. This character focuses on crit-based charged attacks and works beautifully with Ineffa's kit. Ineffa buffs EM and triggers Lunar Charged, while the Bow user pumps out fast Electro crits. Get ready for some nasty synergy in upcoming Abyss rotations. Now let's dive into the best artifact options for Ineffa, both for her current builds and what's coming next. First, the current top-tier artifact sets. Use 4-piece Gilded Dreams for the best balance of elemental mastery and attack. It's ideal for boosting Lunar Charged reactions. A 2-piece Thundering Fury plus 2-piece EM set is great for consistent electro and reaction scaling. And 4-piece Emblem of Severed Fate works well if you're focusing more on burst DPS and energy recharge. Now, for those looking to boost Ineffa's personal off-field damage, not just reactions, try the Golden Troop set. This set gives a massive 25% bonus to skill damage and doubles it while she's off-field, since Ineffa's Electro Storm Cloud persists even when she swaps out. Golden Troop can greatly boost her raw damage output, especially in Quick Bloom or Hyper Bloom comps. Substats to prioritize are crit rate, crit damage, elemental mastery, and energy recharge. Aim for at least 200 elemental mastery and 130% energy recharge with 8200 crit ratios if possible. But here's the exciting part. New Lunar Charged artifacts are on the way. In the Nodcry update version 6.1 or later, 2 brand new artifact sets will focus directly on Lunar Charged reactions. The first is Crescent Moon Transformation. It gives plus 35 EM on 2-piece. And after a Lunar Charged reaction, you get up to plus 8% crit rate and plus 16% crit DMG for a short duration. The second is Moon Splitting, offering plus 25% energy recharge on 2-piece. And on 4-piece, you gain stacking EM boosts up to plus 100 EM, with triggers based on reaction chains and moon phase uptime. They're shaping up to be the best in-slot choices for Ineffa's full EM reaction builds. To summarize, use Gilded Dreams or Golden Troop for now, depending on whether you want to boost reaction damage or personal skill damage. But get ready for Crescent Moon and Moon Splitting in 6.1. They may fully unlock Ineffa's potential as the first Lunar Charged reaction specialist in Teyvat. Now let's talk about the best weapons for Ineffa, including her signature polearm, top-tier 5 stars, and free-to-play options. Fractured Light. This 5-star polearm is built specifically for Ineffa. It gives a strong crit damage boost, and its passive enhances both electro damage and Lunar Charged reaction damage for the entire team. When Ineffa triggers a reaction, she also gains stacking buffs, increasing her own damage and the team's elemental mastery. It perfectly complements her role as a reaction driver and buffer, and is absolutely her best in-slot if you're building around Lunar Charged. Here are 5 options. Staff of the Scarlet Sands, ideal for elemental mastery builds. It converts EM into bonus crit rate and attack. Great synergy with Ineffa's scaling. Calamity Queller, strong ATK buff with increased elemental damage when off-field. Perfect for maximizing Brigitta's passive damage during Lunar Charged uptime. Engulfing Lightning provides energy recharge and burst DMG scaling. Excellent if you want to cycle her burst quickly and support reaction uptime. And free-to-play options. Missive Wind Spear, a great option for reaction teams, boosts both attack and elemental mastery after triggering any reaction. And yes, it's fully F2P. The catch, strong for burst-focused builds, gives crit rate and elemental burst DMG, making it reliable for teams that rely on her burst buffing. Dragon's Bane, excellent when paired with hydro supports like Kokomi, Yelan, or Farina. Boosts damage against enemies affected by Hydro or Electro, which is always active in Ineffa comps. Tips: if you're playing reaction-heavy teams, prioritize EM plus crit plus ATK %. For burst-focused or shield-centric builds, aim for ER and crit with a balance between damage and uptime. And if you manage to get Fractured Light, congratulations! It brings out Ineffa's full potential as both a DPS and team buffer. And that wraps up everything you need to know about Ineffa, the elegant, storm-summoning polearm user who's redefining Electro teamplay with lunar-charged reactions. She's a top-tier reaction driver, a great off-field sub-DPS, and a surprisingly strong team buffer, making her one of the most versatile Electro units we've seen in a while. Her synergy with Hydro units is insane, and she only gets better with the upcoming Nadka artifact set, tailor-made for lunar-charged builds. Pair her with her signature weapon, Fractured Light, or go full F2P with great 4-star options like Missive Windspear or the Catch, and she'll carry your teams through any storm. Cyclone, now it's your turn, Traveler. Are you gonna pull for Ineffa, build up her new reactions, and ride the lightning? Or will you save your Primogems for the upcoming meta-shaking Columbina and her mysterious team comps we've only just started to learn about? Let us know in the comments. What's your plan? And who's your dream team? Thanks for watching. If this guide helped you out, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with your Genshin squad. And until next time, may your pulls be gold, and your team always lunar charged.